what we do, this is fire and blanks. It's real easy and it's just black powder. So we get the public go, so you get a little bang, get a puff of smoke.
Sorry about that.
Got it. Kind of hole! Who's that? So you get the bag, you get put the round, you can find the round? The actual round.
It didn't land. There's nothing flaring out.
These are just dummy blank rounds again. Once again, we're not firing real projectiles. But it looks pretty cool from a distance, doesn't it?
Here it goes again.
This is the actual round that it fired. They made 3 different types of rounds. There was a high E explosive, there was an incendiary round that its job was just to burn, and then there was also flares. 4 rounds, there was also smoke too. The flares would go up, and the flares would stay down, and there'd be smoke. The light so you can see at night. The container would carry 6. That would carry in, and normally part of the crew would carry 2 containers, and you have a little strap that came over, and it would go in. Very effective weapon, and same thing with the Germans. The mortars was very effective because you could get close up to the enemy, you could get within 100 yards and set those mortars off. You have no idea where it was coming from. Normally when it fire, there's basically a small shotgun shell would go in here. That would fire, that would start the projectile, that would shoot that out. And it would go about 100 yards. And so there wasn't really a big bang, so you had no idea where it was coming from until it hit the ground. Mortars were very, very effective during the war because it was such close. Nowadays, there's no such thing as a front line. Then there was a front line. There's no such thing as a front line nowadays. They can get you wherever. Back then, you had the front line. Everything had to be within 30 miles, maybe, for artillery. But it was a very effective weapon to take out buildings, to also take out squads that had no idea where you guys were. That's it. I'm done with you guys now.
All right, once again, to be safe, you see one that doesn't look like it's been fired.
Hold on, we got one more for you.
Oh, big important. All right.
All right, this gentleman is called Richard. He is a World War II veteran. And when you see this guy, if you ever see him or another veteran that's still alive, he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. He was a live World War II veteran. Shake that guy's hand, you say, welcome home. You know why? Anybody know World War I, about 75% of the men were welcome home. World War II, it went down to about 60% of men were welcome home. Vietnam dropped down to 30. Now, you're lucky if 20% of men welcome home. So what I always do, whenever I see a veteran, I shake his hand. From me to you.
Okay, anybody know what this gun is called? Come on.
That's pretty good.
It's M1 carbine.
This little guy, did he get one, honey?
Okay, got one little 9mm left.
Look how big this thing is.
9mm?
That's really good.
Fires around this size, although this is a blank. Fires one this size, the same diameter bullet that's in the M1 Garand, except it's smaller. It's a lot lighter lead and a lot less powder. The Garand would shoot a lot farther, hit a lot harder. But all you had to do was hit somebody, the enemy, with this. What about it?
Yep.
You hit it with this, you take out 2 other men. They have to take care of this guy because he's not dead. But he's out of the battle, and so are 2 other guys. Okay, this gun was made to replace the 45. Well, it never did. It just wound up being another piece in the arsenal. They used these for officers and non-coms and in armored vehicles where they didn't have room for a big gun. And the paratroopers also, a lot of the paratroopers carried this. And a lot of them, they didn't carry the full one, they had one that they had a folding stock on, so that would make it smaller. They had a holster that they could keep when they jumped with. That holster was right there. The whole gun was right in the holster. Okay? It doesn't make as much noise as these other guns. But when it goes off, you know that it's gone off. These are a little bit louder than the actual round that you would fire. I just had this out to the range. I had the blank adapter screwed out. I had it out to the range, and at 100 yards, see, this gun was, for all intents and purposes, this gun is about this much shorter right here. Because it's threaded all the way down, there's a set screw in there with a hole in it to give it back pressure because there's no lead. Okay? The guy that did this recrowned, is what they call recrowned, the barrel below those screws, below those threads, so that it would fire live rounds. At 100 yards offhand, and I'm no expert, but it's so good that you can hit, you know what a clay pigeon is, about this big. I can hit a clay pigeon almost every time. I'd say 30 out of 35 times I can hit that clay pigeon, or else if I don't, I know how to move it. That's good enough. That's good enough for if you're shooting at a guy. At 100 yards. At 100.
Better than the M1 at 100 yards.
Pardon?
I like that one better than the M1 at 100 yards.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
Well, for me, as an old man and doing reenacting, I'm not carrying a Garand. The Garand weighs over 8 pounds. And I think this one's 5.5. Not, well, right now I don't feel that much. But when I'm out there running around, this old guy's not going to do it. I'll show you what.
Just see the size.
Oh, okay. There's the difference. Hey, come here.
Do they shoot the same caliber?
Hey, you right there. Come on. Okay. Hold this one. Okay, hold that one. It feels almost double when you're carrying it.
It still shoots the same size bullet?
He was dumb.
Yeah, there's less lead. It's not as big as a bullet. It's the same. The diameter is the same. The barrel diameter is the same.
Which one would have more stopping power?
Yeah, that's got more stopping power. But this will stop you.
Real quick about the M1 carbine, why they came out with the carbine was they had two main weapons. They had the 45, which was a huge round, but it was a sidearm. It didn't have the distance, but it had the kick power. And then they had the M1. The M1 was great for the distance. I mean, it was good. The M1, you could shoot up to 1,500 yards if it was that good. So they wanted something for NCOs, they wanted something for vehicles, tanks, something small enough, had a little bit better distance than a 45, not quite as kicking, just shorter.
Okay, here we go. Better take the safety off. Here, let me show you how this works.
He only had two, but he's that good, he only needed 2 shots. He didn't see a guy fall. Same ball.
I like to play with it. Any chance I get to fire it. That's the way with all of us guys with the thing. Well, if it works right. It's almost like a machine gun. But don't touch the barrel.
Because it's hot.
No, I didn't.
I didn't hear you. Look, walk along.